So one of EBS's huge DNA, it's part of who we are, is contribution. It's our 13th point of culture. We take this very seriously. My thinking on this, please write this down, is one of the reasons why you want to be successful is it allows you to help other people or the planet who can't help themselves. Who thinks that's not a bad idea in business? Raise your hand. So contribution is a big part of EBS, and I want to bring up my lovely wife to give you an update on where we are with the charity for the next 10 minutes. So can we welcome to the stage Georgie Campbell.
Thanks, Bruiser. I love getting back up here. This is my little window to link, for those who are at the Entrepreneurs Forum middle of the year, it's my opportunity to link the forum from a charity space to the summit and so forth. So we've had a really big 6 months, and just to give some context, because you may have heard this languaging around Mission Abundance Foundation, and I thought it was really important I just let you know, what is that? So Mission Abundance Foundation is the charitable arm to EBS, and that's my lane. That's what I look after. So at the moment, we have several projects on the go, specifically in Uganda, in Africa. That's where we heavily support at the moment. And this community is on the journey with us. So I thought I'll spend the next 10 minutes just letting you know what is happening at the moment. But importantly, the funds that we raised at the Mid-Year Entrepreneurs Forum, where have they gone to? So we'll kick to our first community. So Champezi is a rural community in Uganda. And the charity that works out of that village is called Champezi Childcare Ministries. And some of you may, and some of you may not know, a very ambitious goal for that community is to build a rehabilitation centre for vulnerable children. And the foundation's object is we support humanitarian aid and vulnerable people. So, amazingly, 30 of the EBS community travelled over September just been, and they were able to physically support in the continuation of the build of this centre. So the funds raised from Forum 2024 went towards literally putting the first level cement down. Now remember I said it was an ambitious project. This is a decade project. So we are going bit by bit. This is not a concrete pump from a truck. This was our team, our EBS team that were with us and the team of the local community. It was wheelbarrows, it was mixers, and they spent the whole day. Our daughter's there and several of the EBS clients are up there who went on the trip with us, with Bruce and I. They spent that whole day moving, I don't know how many wheelbarrows of concrete. Dylan Fay, you here? How many barrels did they move that day? 2,000? Yeah. So it was a huge day. Definitely hugely fulfilling, a massive day, but that centre is coming along. So the funds went towards that large centre's first level being put down with its concrete. So that was really exciting and really definitely worth a round of applause. Thank you. So the next project for this community is a really exciting one, and that's the Sustainable Farming Project. And again, several volunteers from the EBS community have been helping me with this one. So KCM, with the funds raised from 2023 Entrepreneurs Forum, a small portion was used to purchase some farming land. Their goal is to produce more food for the children at that school and charity, then purchase. So we've spent several months with a team in this room. There's agronomists, horticulturalists, there's food suppliers and producers, and we're just trying to impart our knowledge to them of what we've learnt that might assist them. So the farming land's now being cleared. We're prepping it for the maize growing season, which is coming up in January. But more importantly, look at the middle picture. This is the first tomatoes ever grown in that community. So our team were on the call and KCM showed us this, and I was so excited. And I got the team here, the agricultural team here who's helping me, and they said, we've got one tip. And they said, you need to use a trestle. You need to send your tomatoes growing upwards. And it was one small sentence, one imparting piece of knowledge. They have gone away and now got all their tomato plants growing upwards. So it just goes to show the power of philanthropy. It doesn't need to be masses of this money. It doesn't need to be masses of time. It can be one piece of information that has literally transformed the first tomatoes ever grown. That's KCM. So I'll just move on to our next community. This is Natete. So this is based in the slums of the capital city of Kampala, and we've been working along Bridge Christian Ministries for about a year now. So the first project the current project that's going on for that community is to do with next slide please, Jamie, is to do with the deep water bore. Now we put that down, and a lot of you would have heard that, but EBS physically had a bore drilled, so they now are drinking clean, safe drinking water. First time ever in history for them. So that bore was, again, the team who travelled over in September, we put the EBS plaque up. It said, from the community of Australia and New Zealand EBS community, and that you are now, a piece of you are now on the wall of BCM. So that was a huge project to accomplish. Thanks, Tom. So the current project, and again due to some amazing donors in this very room, was the kitchen build, and this is for BCM and the slums area. So the metal door, you can see, we've just completed a kitchen to be built. So in the school in that community, they don't have a feeding program. So a lot of those children only eat every 4 days. So a big goal of the foundation is to install clean water, a feeding program, keep educating, all the pieces that can help to break the poverty cycle. So very generous donors have now had that kitchen completed. You can see inside, so that's where all the cooking will happen. And we're now very, very close to kicking off their first feeding program. So a recent charity fundraiser in excess raised $40,000. So we're currently working out how can we use that $40,000 to assist the kick-starting of that program, but at the same time, from a business coaching point of view, work with them to understand how can we remain sustainable, because we're not there forever. So some perspective, to feed a child a meal a day per day, so a child, a meal, a day is 50 US cents a day. So I'm working with them now to see how we can keep it sustainable. So when that starts, I'm going to send a huge message to the EBS community, because that again is driven by the very people in this room. So that one is definitely worth a round of applause. So I want to just switch over. So one of the programs we offer is our humanitarian aid programs, and they are known as Mission Abundance. And amazingly, we took 30 EBS clients, Bruce and I took 30 EBS clients over to Uganda in September, just been. It was an incredible experience. So you'll see some pictures there. We've got Walter there from Board 8 and Kylie from Board 5. So they were on the medical camp together. They were in the OBS tent. They were taking temperature, blood pressure. That day alone, we assisted over 1,000 people to be treated, whether it be dental, medical care, or optometry, in one day alone. So if you think of your local GP, how many they might see in one day, we treated over 1,000 people in one day. So that was an incredible achievement. And the other side, I just had to put in, it is literally, they just engulf us into their life for the week we're there. The next stage is now we're prepping for the 4th edition. So that is September 2025. And I've had 40 amazing EBS clients commit to that trip. So we are already underway and aligning as a group. So this trip will head over, as I said, in 2025 September. And the same thing will happen. We will begin to align for that trip. And it's a program of EBSs because it's an opportunity to give back. And it's an opportunity to, I spoke about philanthropy middle of the year. It's a piece to be able to give some time and contribution back. So I'm really, really looking forward to this trip. So if I can please get my Mission Abundance 4th edition team to stand up. So this team is getting ready. When we head over in September, we'll be undertaking medical camps, we'll be teaching in the classrooms, we'll be assisting back on the rehabilitation centres. So it's going to be a fabulous trip and I cannot wait, and hugely proud of what we're accomplishing over in there. Thank you, team. Take a seat. So that is it from me. It's always a pleasure to get up here because I love telling you about my lane because I love it. So if you would like to come and see me at the back of the room, please do. And can I please ask, we have a booth here today. So we are trying to generate more Kickstart feeding programs, so there's opportunity to donate, but there's also an opportunity to sponsor a child. So please go and have a chat to the volunteers. I have an incredible group of ladies who help me, who look after the child sponsorship program. They put a tremendous amount of effort into preparing that booth. It's all set up for all my learners. You can actually have a look at profiles of children and see if that resonates with you. So they look forward to seeing you in the break. Thank you, team.